it's Alex Gervaisi with Kiss FM. This is Next Up, and I am super pumped about the band that I'm with right now, Cody Simpson and the Tide. What's up, guys?
How you going?
What it do?
Good.
Hello.
Okay, so we talked about this, but like, is this your first like formal interview as a band together?
Yes.
Yes. This
We
is
give you the
super.
pleasure.
You know what? This is exciting for me then, because I can ask all the questions and they will not have been asked before. So
We'll be exclusive.
that takes a
God.
lot of pressure off my shoulders. So I'm super pumped. Are you feeling nervous, Adrian?
I'm not. I'm just here living the moment with you guys.
All right. So first
Love you,
things
mate.
first. I
Codrian.
What?
We already have a couple name
What is it?
from fans. Codrian.
Codrian. Can I just refer to you guys as that now for the whole interview?
Codrian and Reef.
Codry Reef.
Codrian Reef.
Coral Reef.
Codrian Reef.
Codry.
Okay.
I like
We're gonna
that.
do that
you
then.
can do that.
Okay, yeah,
Reef.
That should be the name of our band, actually.
How did you guys meet? Like, how did this even form?
Should I? I guess I'll
Break it
speak.
down.
So I was looking for a drummer actually, and I was introduced to Adrian through some mutual musical friends here in Los Angeles, and Adrian had just dropped out of Berkeley School of Music in Boston. And actually,
Nice.
Reef
Putting
and
you on
Adrian both went to Berkeley. Don't need to throw you under the bus there. It all worked out for the best.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Shout out to Berkeley.
And
We're out here.
and we became friends, and we started playing together. And this was right as we were kind of started kind of going under the radar a little bit, jamming, working on music and stuff. And we did a run of gigs out here in the States, and Reef was playing with another band, and we actually stole him from the band, and we became friends with him and asked him to come join us, and we all started jamming together. And I was living down in Venice Beach at the time, and every Friday we'd have friends over at the house that we were living at, and everyone would come over, and we'd like.
We were living together then.
Yeah, Adrian was living there too, and a couple of other mates, and we would, invite people over, bring people off the street, and all just start jamming together. And we were playing a lot of blues and different kinds of music, and we ended up developing a sound together as a trio. And we started writing songs and putting songs together over the last year or so. So, yeah.
So it's been
Now
like
we're
a
here.
it's
That's
been
the
like a year
the nutshell story. Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's been a year process, and it's
Yeah.
like that led to this point. What was that? I mean, like, what for you, especially to kind of already have the dynamic of being in a band before? What was it like to be like, all right, I'm gonna make the jump and try this out?
They were super supportive of it, actually. So
That's
it's-
awesome.
Yeah, it was that like lifted a lot from my conscience, and I still played with them for a little bit, just like in between and stuff. But they actually ended up breaking up. Rest in peace.
Rip.
But
You clearly made the right choice
Yeah,
then. You
I mean-
abandoned ship before it went down.
Yeah, like those are like my brothers also. So I still like stay in touch with them. But yeah, it's lit. These guys are my new family, and we just joke around and jam it up. And it's lit.
I know you're not from LA, but you've lived here for how long now?
I moved over here with my family originally when I was like 14 years old.
Okay.
So I'm almost 21, and so I've been here for about 6 years.
And are you guys from LA, or did you?
No, I'm from Sinaloa, Mexico. It's
Okay.
in the coast. It's beautiful there. I love it. You should
Awesome.
go if you haven't been.
I haven't, so I'll put that on my to-do list.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, I'm from there, and I moved to LA when I was 14
Okay.
for music. I went to a music high school here.
So another transplant. You too?
Yeah,
An
I'm from,
eclectic group of musicians.
yeah, Brooklyn in the
Nice,
house.
I love it. When you were there, you go. Awesome. When you guys all were first started to jam together and play together, how did you find your sound? Like you said, you played a lot of blues and stuff, but how did you hone that in to be like, okay, it's almost like trying to find the transition of, yeah, we're playing in our house, we're playing for people, but then how do you're like, but is this the direction we really want to go? Like, how did you figure that out?
Yeah. We all started slowly. We started covering songs of groups that we liked and groups that we thought that inspired us, and even bands like The Police or Sublime and different and all different kinds of bands, and I think we all draw from a lot of different vast arrays of influences musically and creatively, and it seemed to blend together quite nicely with the songs that and the melodies that I'd started writing, and Adrian's percussion and drum background really lent it itself, I feel like, really perfectly to the songs, and Reef brought like an amazing edge on the bottom end to the whole thing, and it really rounded it out nicely. So we just kind of developed it over time.
Yeah, we definitely tried a lot of stuff that didn't work out.
Like
and then
what?
we were like, wow, it sounds like,
Wait, I want to know. I want to know the bad things that happened.
We did a little bit of reggae.
We did a little bit of reggae, and we were
no.
like, wow. And we actually recorded like 5 songs that were like fully reggae, and we were like, oh no, this doesn't work. Like, and then we did like some other like heavy stuff, like other stuff, and then we were like,
and
we were like, oh, it doesn't work. So what we end up doing, we were like getting in the studio, and then a lot of post production was like, like blending everything, like all right, cool, we're gonna blend all of that, and then we're gonna put it together. But it takes time, to like get to that sound. It really does, It took us like a year and a half, and now we feel very confident about, this is our sound, this is who we are. So yeah,
it's been a year-long process for sure. Yeah.
And it will continue to be a process, I'm sure. Like, it's like you'll continue to evolve and figure things out along the way. But, I think just listening to the music, it sounds, it's so good. And I can hear that jazz element and that blues element in it too. But also, I don't know if this is like a corny thing to say, but it sounds very Californian, like very, very West Coast, which I love.
Well, it was all made here on the West, so
yeah,
it can't help but reflecting what's going on around it.
Shout outs.
Shout to LA.
West is the best.
West Side, Venice Beach. Especially for you, Cody, like for someone who's been in the music industry for a while, how have you seen your music kind of mature? As you, like you said, you moved here when you were 14, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so how has it been for you to not only get used to playing with other people and form a band, but also what that music is going to look like for you?
Honestly, the way I see it now, looking back at my, the majority of my journey so far musically, and moving over here, and getting signed very young, and having now gained a lot of experience as a musician. Growing up, I think it almost was subconsciously preparing me for the whole thing, and for this, and allowed me to develop the musical skill that I personally needed to be on par with these guys, because like they're far beyond me in terms of musical skill and chops and things like that with the instruments they play. So it took me a year or two, even the last year or two, to really be able to practice the guitar and take that time off for me to kind of lay low and do that, to be able to come back and share something that was worth sharing. But it kind of prepared me for the whole thing, and I've developed my own kind of writing style, and have something to share that I feel like is very much me or us, now. So yeah.
I love it. And like I said, I think the music's fantastic, and just hearing you guys play it live, it was just really cool to see that and see how you have all meshed together. Tell me a little bit about the EP and how you went through the process of picking what songs you wanted to even be on, because I'm sure you guys recorded a lot of songs. Like you said, like you had like reggae songs, or like this is not working.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I'll let the guys tell you.
Well, we have like 35 songs or something like that we had to pick, out of, we just picked whatever was best, and like in that sound, like of
most
where we
cohesive
want to go.
kinda.
Yeah, where we want to go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? You got? Where we want to say something?
Yeah, essentially that. It's been, as we all know, a super long process. So it's been interesting to like watch it all go down, and like the musical journey that we've been through, and then have it all like be kind of like filtered down into like, with like all these new things happening, new management, just like business stuff, and then like us finally finding the like correct.
Yeah, it was definitely so much fun
for us.
Having to compress this, and vast, like,
Yeah, it's
Being
amazing.
of influences into one kind of tunnel, filter.
It was amazing process because from what we know, like Cody, like he's been in in the industry for a long time and stuff, and it was very challenging for us to start as a band and like take that sound, a little bit of that sound still, but like taking it into the sound of the band, Yeah, the EP is really, really cool. I really like it. I think we picked the best 4 songs we had, and we have more music coming out, which is gonna be better and better and better.
Bangers.
Because
I
we
love
keep
it.
writing, and it's just gonna get better and better.
And do you guys all live together too?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh man.
What's wrong? What would be wrong with that?
I mean, I love you guys.
It would just be a lot of time because I thought you just said that you guys were roommates. I was like, man, they're gonna be in the studio together and they live together.
me and Cody, like.
How was that? How was it when you guys lived together? Was it fun, or were you just like,
so
oh
much
man,
fun.
this
Yeah, it was
isn't?
I love you,
Yeah.
buddy. It was so much
I
fun.
love you guys.
You don't have to say
Listen.
it because we're on cameras. I mean,
You're like if this band is
Talk about it later.
we'll talk about it later.
therapy
Reef will
session
back
with
me
Kiss FM. Well, guys, I'm
The
super
live
pumped that you
breakout.
stopped by. Like I said, you're super talented. The music's amazing, and I'm just pumped that this was like the first interview. So thank you for letting me
Thank
be
you.
your first interview.
Thank you. It was
Awesome.
a
Anything
pleasure.
else you want to tell our listeners?
Get Wave 1 on Spotify and iTunes today.
The best EP ever. Allegedly.
You guys are gonna love it. If you haven't heard it, go get it.
According to
Seriously.
@ReefBoy on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. I don't know who runs that account,
I
but
don't know either.
it was. He
It seemed like
said
a pretty
something-
sane person. Like,
Yeah.
Hint, it's him.
Thanks for having us so
Wave
much.
Of
we'll
course,
always
thanks for-
remember this interview. Seriously. It was-
Awesome. Man, that makes me super pumped. Well, thank you for coming through, and we're out. Okay, I'm not going to actually drop the mic because that would be like fun.
Thanks for taking our virginity as a